Hey guys, this is MGS Warrior 2, and here's another Pokemon Online battle, and this time it's against Hero Warpstar. I lead off with Tyranitar, he lead off with Landorus, and that's not a very good matchup against my Tyranitar. So I switched out into my Gliscor to get a free switch in to be immune to his Earthquake. I set up his sub, as he had to switch out, and he sent out his own Gliscor. I set up Swords Dance behind my sub. His Gliscor broke my sub with an Ice Fang, so I decided to go for an Acrobatics, but that doesn't kill even with Swords Dance. But luckily for me, I got some Sand Veil hacks in my favor, and he missed his Ice Fang. And I was fortunate enough to take out his Gliscor with another Acrobatics. He sends out his Latios. I go out into my Gastrodon. I predicted a Surf, so my Gastrodon took that and absorbed it and got a special attack boost thanks to Storm Drain. I hit an Ice Beam on his incoming Ferrothorn, which is his special wall. So I got into my Magnezone. I tried to Magnet Pull it, but he sends out his Lucario. So I predict a close combat, so I went out into my Cofagrigus. So that was a free switch in to my Cofagrigus, who is a ghost and immune to fighting. He sends out his Latios, and I went for the Will-O-Wisp. I was trying to target Lucario, in case Lucario set up Swords Dance or something, but I missed the Will-O-Wisp anyway, so Latios went for the trick. So my Tyranitar no longer has the Chople Berry, instead it has Choice Specs. So now Latios went for the Surf, which is not as powerful as it would have been if it still had Specs. So I set up Stealth Rocks here and decided to switch out since I'm locked into Stealth Rock, now that Tyranitar is holding the Specs. I went out into my Gastrodon again to take another Surf and get another Storm Drain boost. But just like last time, he switches back into his Ferrothorn to take another Ice Beam. So it's pretty much a stalemate here, even though he already lost a Pokemon. So he set up a Leech Seed on my Cofagrigus that was just switched in. So I don't want my Cofagrigus to be seeded, so I send out my Magnezone. I think he predicted that I would go into Magnezone, so I think he went out into his Latios. So I decided to set up a sub to see what he was going to do. So I'm glad I did, because he sent out his Tyranitar. Decided to just go for the Charge Beam to see if I can get a special attack raise, but I don't. And he broke my sub with a Fire Blast, so I definitely need to switch out here. I don't want Magnezone to go down to a Fire Blast. So I send out my Tyranitar, as he's probably predicted my switch. He set up his own Stealth Rock, as his Tyranitar went for the Superpower, and that was a big misplay for me, because I forgot that my Tyranitar has been tricked and it no longer held Chople Berry. If it did, it would have lived that Superpower. So I got into my Gliscor, set up a sub, but Tyranitar broke it with a Fire Blast. So I decided to go for another substitute just to see if Tyranitar would miss Fire Blast, but he switched into Landorus. He hit a Hidden Power Ice. I set up my Swords Dance, but Landorus stops my Sweep cold in its tracks and finished off my Gliscor. I think I just offered that as death fodder because of the Stealth Rock and because Gliscor had a little bit of HP left. So his Ferrothorn takes a third Ice Beam from my Gastrodon. And as always, I want to switch out, fearing the Power Whip. Got into Magnezone, but he switched again. He goes out into his Landorus. And here I switch out into my own Landorus, because I was predicting an Earthquake, but he was smart. He predicted I would go into Landorus, so he went for the Hidden Power Ice. So that was a great over-prediction on his part that actually paid off. So I got into my Cofagrigus, missed another Will-O-Wisp that I was trying to get Landorus with a burn. So I switch back into my Gastrodon, as Latios went for another trick. It took away my leftovers, gave me the Chople Berry, which is a great play because Gastrodon lives off of leftovers because it's a special wall and it depends on it for its survival. So, as always, he went into Ferrothorn, take another Ice Beam. I go back into my Magnezone as he Leech Seeded that. So, now Ferrothorn is taking some of my Magnezone's health away with Leech Seed, but I decided I really need to get rid of this Ferrothorn, so I just use Hidden Power Fire, and it's dead. He sends out his Landorus. I know an Earthquake is coming, so I send out Cofagrigus, but I know that Cofagrigus will indeed go down to 2 Earthquakes, because Cofagrigus has been switched in a couple times already and already took some Stealth Rock damage, so nothing I can do there. And that crit on my Gastrodon has really cost me my final hopes of winning this battle, but I believed he had it well in hand anyway, and he finished off my Magnezone with one last Earthquake. So, I got thoroughly outplayed by Hero Warpstar, which rarely happens. I had an off game, but it seemed closer than what the score actually was, which was his win 4-0. But I had a lot to learn from this loss, and that's the reason I posted this battle, is because I don't want everyone to think that I only post battles that I win. I want to also post battles that I lose, so no one will think that I'm undefeated or anything. So sometimes it happens. I can't win them all. Just got to move on to the next one. So thank you all for watching my Pokemon Online battle. Comment, like, sub, and see you guys next time.